half woman.
It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
All right, 6 minutes after the hour, Gary has the tea and the cologne of the day. Gary.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Thursday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. The prayer awards are definitely being solicited, y'all, for one of America's beautiful, talented stars, honey, Miss Laverne Cox. Now, it's being reported out that Laverne Cox says, y'all, that her pockets are suffering in this second term under President Donald Trump. Now, in a recent interview, honey, the Emmy-winning Orange is the New Black star said that she has lost so much money, Ricky, as brands and colleges pull back from diversity, equity, and inclusion work. She said, quote, I've lost so much money because of this administration this past year, Ms. Cox said. She said, I managed to stay busy with acting and branding work as well as engagement, but I never thought that college speaking gigs would just dry up, she said. She claimed, y'all, that she now survives, y'all, on her savings and her retirement money. And it's a sad situation. She said, quote, that, you know, she was definitely, you know, working extremely hard, you know, doing what this girl had to do and stuff, honey. And now that this new thing that President Obama then kicked in, honey, is like, Obama. You know, this diversity thing, honey.
I think you mean Trump.
Oh, Trump, I'm sorry. She said that I've lost so much money because of this administration this past year. She said, I managed to stay busy, honey, with acting and brand work as well as speaking engagement. She said, but she said that she now survives, y'all, on her savings and her retirement money. And, you know, usually when you get your retirement money, don't they penalize you?
Well, if you take it and you're underage, under 62.
Yeah, I don't think she's 62. She said, I was working really hard, honey, to get out of a financial hole. She said, but then, honey, I was also working hard, honey, to try to lift up my community. She said that she had no savings or retirement and was still paying student loan debt when the road changed her, honey, at the age of 40. This administration, she said, is very punitive with anything that suggests DEI or gender ideology, and corporations, honey, have been very scared. She said, the blessing is that I finally have the privilege, y'all, to have a retirement fund to dip into. She also added, y'all, but she said, you really don't want to do that. She didn't want to dip into her retirement. Isn't that sad? That's like discrimination. Really, I mean, Miss RuPaul still work and stuff, so why can't Laverne?
But I think a lot of actors go through that. When you're not working, you're not, I mean, it's not like a 9 to 5, so you're only paid when you're working on a project. You know?
It's nothing new to black actors.
Yeah, sure not. Well, but she was married, dating a white Trumper at one point.
Oh.
She talked about that on TV the other day. So I don't know, but we just got to keep her lifted up in prayer. Honey, hopefully that girl can do something. I mean, you know, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to keep her lifted in prayer, honey. All right, moving on. While we're lifting in prayer, continue to pray, y'all, for J.Lo Rose ex-wife to be Miss Bunny XO. You know, they filed for divorce, honey. You know what? She letting the world know. She said, honey, yes, girl. She said, honey, I used to make $100,000 a night. She said, I was a sex worker in Vegas. She was doing sex work. Now, they're saying, y'all, that she told the people that, you know, hey, that she helped him before he was a star. Because she said he had no money. You know, before he became a big country star, you know, honey, and his real name is Jason DeFord, and her real name is Alyssa DeFord.
You said Jalen Rose or Jelly Roll?
Jelly Roll.
Okay. I'm
yeah.
Like, what?
And she said, honey, that she helped him out and stuff, you know. She said, but they didn't have this stereotypical love story. She said that she never wanted a stereotypical love story. But she spoke with Juju Chang, honey, in an interview the other day. And she said, honey, before, honey,
she spoke with who?
Juju Chang. Y'all know the reporter.
Oh.
Juju Chang, Google her, honey. She's on Nightline.
Okay.
Now, she said before meeting Jelly Roll, honey, she said, you know, she was definitely an escort. And she said, and even after they got involved, she said, honey, she didn't give up sex work right away. She said, in fact, she said, honey, I was the breadwinner, honey. She said, I fell in love with my husband because he treated me like no other man had. He never used my job against me, and he never shamed me or anything. She said he just loved her, honey, but now he divorcing her. But anyway, but she said, growing up in Las Vegas, she said, you didn't grow up, honey, wanting to be no damn doctor or lawyer or the Indian chief, honey. She said, honey, she wanted to be a showgirl. And she said, and when you can't make it being a showgirl, what happens? She said, you end up becoming a stripper, honey. But nevertheless, I thought that was a good story. I wonder how many men of African descent.
$100,000 a night for some of that.
Yes, sir, honey.
Come
she said
on.
she didn't want to be no stripper. She said she wanted to be a sex worker. And she said, you know, this is what she said. Quote, she said, you get men, honey, that would come in the club and say, oh, I'll give you X amount of dollars, honey, for 20 minutes. You know, she said the money that she could earn from escorting was far more than what she could have took home as a stripper. She said it wasn't usually for her to make more than $100,000 a night.
Yeah, I need to see the receipts
That's
on that.
Vegas, though.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
It's
the high
legal.
rollers in Vegas, and it's legal.
But are we really calling it an escort?
They come in to spend
$100
money.
a night?
Yeah, pretty much it's prostitution.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know them men be coming in there spending a lot of money
Yeah.
Wow.
gambling. So
but
they
I'm
might
talking
as
about
well
for
put
the-
$100,000 aside for some.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they're talking about men with money, not broke men, but she's talking about men with money. So, you know, and that's good. I mean, so she helped Jelly Roll, but if I was her, I'd make sure, honey, he would pay me after all what she went through and took care of him, honey. We ain't had nothing. Now he got money. Now he just throwing her away and stuff. But she could always go back to her thing.
Is it him that's wanting a divorce, or
Yep,
is it her?
him.
Oh.
He wants a divorce. He's filing for divorce. So let's pray, honey, for
See, now that he got some money, he probably done ran into some people that smashed.
yeah.
And he like, nah,
right?
this is uncomfortable. I'm seeing all these. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But he married a sex worker, so
Yeah.
he know that was part of the deal anyway, which is crazy.
But
Can
he
you
wasn't in the right
imagine?
tax bracket to see none of them people. Now
Exactly.
he
You
is.
didn't see him or not,
Exactly.
but you knew they was there.
Well,
That would be
but
enough
when you
for me.
see them, it's a different thing, though, honey. Looking at them, honey, and knowing about it is two different things. I could know that you're a sex worker, but I just know it. But now when I see you in my face, and I know you didn't engage with my wife,
Thank you.
Agreed.
So let's keep her lifting. Poor Bunny, honey. I feel so bad.
Oh, bunny.
I got better things to pray for.
Oh, Bunny, baby. Oh, Bunny.
All right, now that said it did. Y'all know what time it is. Yes, sha-la-la.
It's Gary.
The color today, honey, is one of my favorite colors. My color today, y'all, is Hyacinth. On the high end, you say Hyacinth, and on the low end, you say beautiful light mauve. That's a beautiful color.
Oh, that's nice. Y'all give it up for Gary with the T. All right, I got the wake-up calls. Y'all get them in there. The phone lines are wide open. 8669 Rickey, 8669 RICKEY. Hit me up. Rickey Smiley Morning Show.